Ladies and gentlemen, it is my prayer and hope that this video is going to find you when you're doing fine and in good health. I'm also doing fine at this peripheral end. So let me know where you're watching this video from. Which country? United States? Which province? All walks of life, what you're doing and where you are now. I'm also doing fine at this peripheral end and the Middle East. So guys, I want to talk about the live that Rosio did yesterday, the Q&A questions. So it was a question session and answer. As you know, they always like doing it, and Rosio sometimes likes doing it or framing the question at the Instagram. Then that's where people will drop the question. Later, she will come on YouTube Street and answer such kind of question. But yesterday's she did it differently. She just came in and people were asking questions on the premiere, so you could just read the question as they stream. But there was this particular kind of a question when somebody asked that, Rosio, when are you marrying IAM-Marwa? It's been long now that you are having a baby. Guys, that question itself was even so intrusive by its own intonations. I could hear of it. Of the same breath, it really even angers or angered Rosio. And Rosio threw shades at that kind of question and a subscriber who really asked that question. First of all, he said it wasn't his desires and dream to get married. Secondly, the fact that she's having a baby doesn't really mean that she should be getting married immediately. Well, majority of people couldn't fathom. They look at something strange and they started asking themselves questions. Guys, I tell you, do not bother. Do not worry, because there is something that you don't understand. What we need to understand while dissecting that statement, it is the subject matters, because the subject matter was pressure. But in between, under the pressure that she claims a lot of things, people only picked the two subjects. One, the fact that she's having a baby it's not a full proof for her to get married. Secondly, it wasn't his dream, her dream before to get married. Well, these things caused a mixed reaction. But I want to shift the focus what the lazy gang are saying, because the lazy gang took it, that one part, and started running away with and already twisting it. They twisted and they understood it so wrong, because in that context, they couldn't understand and they couldn't fathom, which is a worrisome going forward. So I'm going to reveal, to decode the message, then I give it to you as per its context. And secondly, I'm going to juxtapose it, what the lazy gang are saying, then I demystify for you to understand. And the third thing that I'm going to do during this discourse, I'm also going to tell you under what circumstances, under which kind of context, Rosio had to claim several things. Therefore, if you're coming across this channel for the very first time, kindly click at the notification bell so that whenever I upload a video, YouTube shall notify you instantly. To my loyal subscriber, may God bless you abundantly. So let's dive in straight away. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Inazak and this is my YouTube channel. So guys, let's dive in straight away lest we forget. I am tired of marriage questions, Rosio laments. It's a kind of a question that really thrown people into confusion. A question that others claimed have introduced them into the world of timelessness and to the world of fantasies. Therefore, other people are even in the paradoxical state up to now. Well, let's avoid being in that state or in a state of confusion. But while we are decoding this kind of message itself, allow me to say this. When Rosio was addressing this kind of question, first of all, the heading says, I'm tired of this marriage question. Simply means people ask her several questions. And it also means Rosio has been providing answers and providing answers to this question, and people still continue featuring this question, which means she finds it's odd. And again, at this point, Rosio also said that majority of people who at one point even never wanted their relationship with IAM-Marwa, others even sent her a message to inbox that IAM-Marwa never loves him, that she should be dumping IAM-Marwa going forward. Well, that is the context in which Rosio had to answer this question. Well, let me tell you something. Rosio claimed several things under this kind of subject. I'm tired of marriage question. Why was such kind of question? And at what context were people confused not to understand particular kind of that phrasal verb? It was hard, not aggressive, but affirmative in nature and indeed. So I want to state it this way. When she claimed that and said that, Rosio was referring to pressure, that people are causing pressure towards him to marry IAM-Marwa. Something that Rosio couldn't understand because the relationship there too. Why people are not pressuring IAM-Marwa to marry Rosio? Why must people always pressure Rosio to do something that IAM-Marwa wants to do? This is the question that Rosio was asking herself when addressing that one, because it was not a complete statement, it was a phrasal verb. A phrasal verb is an adjunct of a full statement that really makes a suspicion. It is an incomplete statement to address and leaves you in suspicion and leaves you to guess what next. That one tells you how Rosio herself is so clever, because this is content creation and it's a stylistic device or feature that is used also to gauge audience like you and people who sometimes pretend to be cunning, scheming, asking questions to provoke, or intruding to other people's space with some kind of question that mainly to ridicule. Therefore, Rosio sometimes also maybe thought, and according to his understanding, this question was rhetorical. Of course, these are the questions that sometimes doesn't need an answer, but they need to be rebutted the way Rosio just did it. But now people were understanding it in different contexts. That's why I'm saying it needs somebody who's so clever, who is having the wherewithal and whom's to decode and construct a particular kind of statement. Literature. I'm a good student of literature, by the way. Now, let me bring to you what it was meant in the content. Rosio was talking about the pressure. Why are you always heaping pressure on him, on her alone? Why not IAM-Marwa? That one could never come from her mouth, but the statement itself is, she was speaking of pressure. Of pressure. And it's in this day that if somebody must do proposal, IAM-Marwa is the one who should do proposal to Rosio of marriage. So Rosio's own decision is whether she will accept the proposal or not. Therefore, people who are asking question, you're asking the right question but to the wrong person. Which means this question ought to have been directed to IAM-Marwa. Now you can get the context in which Rosio was talking from. I hope it will descend, or it has desilted big time. Number two, there is something, because Rosio is also thinking that people are heaping pressure just because he's having a child. Now she should be getting married. Now, it's now thinking again, because there's a lot of pressure on her to come down to the marriage, because people now thinking because he's having a child of IAM-Marwa, now she must get married. She must get into marriage affair or settlement affair just because the child involved. You know? Rosio is simply saying, you people, we are heaping pressure on her because he's having IAM-Marwa's child. Now, because she's having a child, is the basis of marriage. No. Rosio was battling such kind of a simplistic kind of thought that because a child is involved, doesn't really warrant people to get married. Marriage is a personal relation and it's a lifetime commitment that really needs you to make your decision. Fully aware, what is it? Is it true love? Or what really takes people to marriage? Security. Somebody is secure with your emotions. Somebody is secure with your whole well-being. And it needs time for people to think. Not because the child involved, now you go to marriage. That's what Rosio wanted to address. It's not Rosio doesn't want to settle with IAM-Marwa. It's not that Rosio now running from IAM-Marwa's marriage. No, IAM-Marwa have not proposed. Now I want to bring you to speed for you to get the context. The lazy gun, the likes of JT, I know you are watching. So listen to me, because I'll always teach you all manner of things that you don't know. That is the context. That is the context. You know, majority of people have gotten it wrong in marriage because they see because I'm having a child with this particular XYZ, therefore I should be getting married to that particular person. Yet, you get married to a wrong person. That is what Rosio was addressing. That you guys stop the question, stop the pressure. This thing is a process. Stop it. Number 3, Rosio said she will get married if she wants. And if she so decided to. Not bowing to pressure of a third party. It's a personal decision making. It should come from herself. If IAM-Marwa proposed, then he should decide. She should decide whether she's going for it or not. That's according to how she conceptualized the whole concept of marital affairs, not the third party giving pressure. That's why she talked of being intrusive. People are intruding into their marital affairs that she wanted to protect. She's saying that people are breathing negative energy into their marriage affairs, of which Rosio doesn't want that negative energy. It should come from him, devoid of coercion and pressure. Yet again, people understood Rosio in the wrong context. Now I'm giving you the context. I hope it shall descend, or it has descended. It is her own decision to be in marriage or not. So the third party, implying their impute negative motion onto their affairs, should desist. They should be left to people to decide. You people, we should just be consuming the content that they give us in this YouTube space. They married, we clap. We should cheer them, not to impose, not to pressure Rosio even at this moment. That's why Rosio was saying it wasn't her dream and her desire to get married for the first place. If it wasn't, which means Rosio is dressing the previous feelings that it wasn't her. But because he's finding himself in a situation, now she must move steadily, careful. She must process that kind of thought. She must also be in a status of being ready to be in marriage, because it was a new thing to him, to her. In the first place, she was never desiring marital affairs. But now, she's in that trajectory. Things have changed. That's why she doesn't want pressure. Well, I'm going to address myself onto this issue of it wasn't my desire to even settle for marriage that people are now insinuating. At the progression stages, I'm going to address
even the other day I did a Q&A. Every time I do Q&A, this marriage question comes and I'm honestly tired. Honestly tired. It's not questions. Sometimes it's like pressure. Sometimes it's like I'm supposed to do it, or I have to pressure Mara to marry me because he has to marry me. And I think it's very intrusive, at least for me. At least for me, because I will get married if I want to get married, if I really wish to marry, if I really feel it. There's nothing like oh, we have a baby, now we have to get married, as many people says many times here. Like, we have to run and get married tomorrow because we have a baby. No, I don't see a baby unattached for me to get married. Getting married was never my dream. Like, I wasn't raised as a girl that, oh, you will be successful if you marry a man in the future. No, I never grew up with that mindset. So, and it's my decision. I will get married if I want to get married. It's really annoying. It's okay to have a question, but I've been receiving messages like crazy of people like even like pressuring this thing, like I have to, and also many others very negative that I don't know what's the intention. If they really want me to marry Marwa, or if they actually want me to break up with him and go my own way. Other people telling me like things like, deep down that Marwa will never marry you. Like, why is going on your heart when you come with things like that, with those type of comments? Like, how dark is your heart? What's your problem? What's the pain in your heart that you need to throw that on me? Like, I think that is a very personal decision. It's a very personal decision. And honestly, once again, I don't rush. I don't have any rush in getting. Once again, it was never my dream. So it's not like every man I met in my life, I was telling me, okay, are you going to marry me? Are you going to marry me? No. Once again, even here in my culture, we don't get married the first day that we met with someone. We don't decide to be an official couple the first day that we met. So everything is a process. I don't see any change or any importance for getting married just for having a kid in between. There's a lot of couples that have kids and actually very happy families, and they are not married. So also I have my own thoughts about marriage in general, that for me is not a representation of love, of real and real success. And I can keep on going about this, but
it didn't stop from there.
Honestly,
and that's why I'm saying the lazy gang will always never thought. Thinking big itself, it's not getting things right. I would rather think so simple, the way yours truly Zach is thinking, was simple, but quite to the point and delivering some certain kind of intelligent exudes, tells you that these are kind of intellectuals or intellects kind of exudes that I'm putting things into perspective and how it is. I'm trying to process it and I'm getting it right. GT Podcast and the Lazy Gang themselves pressed the negative keyboard reactors, got it wrong, and they started celebrating that Marwa has been thrown out by Rosio. That they're saying now there is no marriage. This is what now they're contemplating, and this is what now they are missing it big time, because they were rushing without considering the subject matter. Because these people, what they do, when IAM-Marwa is doing live or Rosio doing live, they are there. When something controversial is said, they will also form their live, which means they are watching both. They are reacting the same live stream or the same live that IAM-Marwa or Rosio is doing, while doing their content at the same time. That's how they manipulate people's mind, because they don't want people to watch. They want people to listen to them. Something that IAM-Marwa or Rosio never intended. That's how they twist words. And that's why they always get it wrong big time. Now, JT said, Rosio has dealt a blow with IAM-Marwa. And that kind of blow itself, they're saying now there's no marriage, and now telling IAM-Marwa that there's no passport. Which is something that I disagree with them as per my own explanation. Is now telling that IAM-Marwa, that Rosio just wanted to travel. Because Amara is a traveler, that's why he saw the need of coming to Amara so that she travels, because they will be traveling with Amara wherever Amara goes. He's also saying that Rosio stands to benefit nothing in this marriage. Now that Amara said that the villa belongs to the child, not to Rosio, and that's why Rosio is considering quitting the marriage. No. You people, you are thinking hard for no reason. And I know you are doing this one because of your selfish reaction, because this is how your negative and a gullible kind of audience wants to feed from that kind of information, because they are not there. And for the people who have been sending Rosio messages not to marry IAM-Marwa, these are the people, the lazy gang. And Rosio has everything, all the receipts. Are you there? At the same time, when Rosio comes and brings the statement, now you are up in the statement and now trolling IAM-Marwa and Rosio in equal measures. Something that I find it so ironical. Perhaps,
and
let's listen.
She's bringing up now this part thing of their culture in their place in Argentina, like it's not cultural to even get married. I mean, getting married is not something really, really important and big. And I had actually to ask myself, she's like the last born, right? So among all the sisters she has, none of them is married, if I'm not wrong. So if none of them is married, then it's not like a big deal for her to actually get married, because for her, maybe her thing, as she explained in that website, her biggest mission was to go around the world, because the world is too big to just stay in one place. And she said in the past years, she's been working on her inner self, right? And she decided it's not being a dream anymore. She should get out and go out there and meet people and see their cultures. I don't know. So why are people, subscribers from Marwa's side, are really, really putting pressure on Rosio to get married to Marwa? So at this moment, I kind of feel like this marriage thing is really coming from Marwa, not Rosio. It's not coming from Rosio. So if Marwa really thought that getting Rosio pregnant and going to Argentina, maybe it would be something to get married and eventually have papers and passport, I think the game is still on. So when Rosio comes out and tell people that, I don't know why they come with this annoying question of asking how will they get married. She goes on explaining to them that actually marriage, as it is marriage, and getting married to Marwa is not part of her dream. It's not part of her dream. Actually, she never dreamt about marrying Marwa and the parasite. So why will you actually sit down and think that she will actually think about marrying a parasite like Marwa? This is a bad trait. How am I going to benefit from the relationship? You get the baby because you want international baby and maybe the passport. So what is Rosio really looking for in this relationship? It's something like to really sit down and ask yourself, because if she explains that marriage, and actually marrying Marwa is not part of her dreams, it's not part of her plans, and people really annoy her so much when they tell her to get married to Marwa. Well, what's now the real thing? What is she really planning to get from this relationship? Just give Marwa a baby and enjoy and go around the world and nothing? No marriage, no nothing, no. I mean, what is the plan? What is the plan? Does it really mean that she really wanted to just get that studio apartment renovated and have her channel grown so that she can go around the world and do her thing that she used to do in the streets? Was that just her mission? And now Marwa thought that getting her pregnant will maybe eventually end up in a marriage. And now by that, because if there's marriage papers, definitely there will be passport and stuff and entitlement or something. So looks like Rosio's mission is different from Marwa's mission, and now she's telling her subscribers, hey.
People are asking, and this is the question that even IAM-Marwa supporters, the lazy gang, and people around who are watching and the silent watcher are asking, why Rosio really had to evoke this kind of emotional statement. What is Rosio trajectory, and what did Rosio in the first place mean by this statement? Remember, this is a statement that I promised you that I will address it at the end of the progression stages of this video. And what's the statement? The statement is, Rosio said, or lamented, it wasn't my dream or my desire to even get married. And I tell you, to expand this so that people to understand, Rosio was addressing his past experience in other relationships that she has already had. This one informs her opinion that marriage itself would be the last result, or marriage itself is not her thing. But the nature itself took course. Now she's in love with IAM-Marwa, and the child also in the picture. Something that never happened in the first relationship they had, or the previous relationship that he had. The child wasn't in the picture, which means the level of relationship itself has taken a little bit top-notch higher, which means certain things must occur for you to understand at what contents and what this kind of subject or statement really mean. Because the subject matter itself, it was the previous relationship that it was addressing. She was addressing. Secondly, there are other things he said while evoking this kind of statement outside there, that it wasn't in the first place. It was reacting to particular kind of things that people were heaping on him, but not to IAM-Marwa. Things that he finds so strange with other people who have been into their lives or seeing them for quite a number of time, that she finds so strange. So what are the things? Basically, these are the reasons why Rosio had to come out and blushed and throw shades at this subscriber who asked the question. Number one, pressure. Because there is pressure. Rosio is claiming that he's tired of these issues of marriage question. He always answers it. She always answers it. But people don't need. Perhaps these are the lazy gang who always want content that will always come with kind of filthy questions like this to provoke, because they want content. Now, that one explains why the lazy gang will always do their live concurrently with IAM-Marwa. IAM-Marwa is live, they are live, and they're discussing IAM-Marwa's life concurrently. That one tells you. So, number two, the proposal, that's what's called the marriage proposal. People all know that a man is the one to propose. And according to the culture of Argentina that he's saying us, that it's never a pressure for them, just because the child is involved, they should be getting married. No. Which means they always get to settlement or marriage for particular kind of things, not because the child is involved. You might get married for the wrong reasons. And this is what Rosio doesn't want to do. To get in marriage just because the child is involved. There are more into marriage. It's just not only the issue of the child, because the name of the child was invoked in that statement, in that question. Now she needed to debunk that notion, that kind of thought. You have to put Rosio into the context. I'm giving you the context. Marriage itself, as you know, that's number three, is a personal decision making, devoid of a third party. So Rosio wants to make her own decision making with IAM-Marwa, because it's one. 1 + 1 is equal to 1 when it comes to marriage. That's why in any form when people are getting married and there is a wedding ceremony, they will tell a man will come from his mother's house, from parents' house, a woman from their parents' house, to unite and to be in unison and one body, in the body of Christ as one. So when it comes to marital affair, 1 + 1 is equal to 1, not 2. And that oneness is what Rosio was explaining, that the decisions reside with them, with her and IAM-Marwa, not the third party. And number 4, that Rosio is saying, the nature will take its course, because things graduated from one point to the other. The other thing as a person you might not want in your life. But later in life, as life progresses, you find yourself deep in it. Remember, she also at one point told us that she never wanted, she was praying to marry a black man, but not IAM-Marwa. You know, when people will understand that statement, some will understand it so differently. Which means sometimes God will never give you what you want. Sometimes God gives you what you need. So it means Amara came to Rosio's life. It is what God didn't see fit for her. That was her need, not her want. People have different desires, even the professions. More so me, when I was growing up, and also even the course I took at the university level, I took business administration. And again, I went and I did the CASNEB, the CPA 1 and 2 combined, because I wanted to be an accountant, in rather a finance. So basically, I did finance. As at now, when I'm speaking, that was my desire. I never even practiced all those things because I did it on paperwork. They are there. The work I'm doing now is totally different. I'm not related to finance. Yet my desire was never to be a safety and health officer, instructor. Now I'm even enjoying being instructor for health, for safety and health. You see, which means God saw that this will be my field. This is where I fit. While my decision or my desire was to be what? A banker. Now I'm what? This is because I'm doing this one because this is what I need in life. The same to Rosio, she never desired to get married. But she will be getting married because this is what God wants for her. I hope now you understand. I'll give you scenarios so that it desailed big time. And the third thing, because of course, Rosio and Marwa is playing a hidden card. A hidden card that the third party should not know. Because this is a sacred kind of a thought, a sacred kind of a union that the monitoring spirit are outside there that can come and spread the bad energy that they've now started. And this is what Rosio and Marwa want to deter people never to know what is going on. At one point, they will surprise us with a proposal and a marriage, boom, wedding. And this is the direction that these people are headed. If you think I'm lying, then stay put. Time will tell us that the nature will take its course. Are you guys? I believe as we end this kind of a discussion or discourse, the kind of question that was asked Rosio itself was an intrusive one. Some people sometimes go too far with a particular kind of question. Are you there? Mainly to provoke or mainly to get content out of it, or mainly to figure what next these people are headed to. Are you there? Or maybe to tempt Rosio or to haunt Rosio. Marriage it itself is a God thing. It is so spiritual and physical. If you go and read the Corinthians, you'll get all of it. The Corinthian Revelation, not Corinthians, the Revelation, I think so. You'll get the whole scenario. So people shouldn't be forced to do it, but it should come from within themselves spiritually, and their body is ready. Let me know what you think at the comment section. Until next time, this is Senior.